very good evening to you and welcome to the Daily Report right here on TV47, the home of untold stories, the authoritative channel. Tonight, we thank you so much for choosing us. Tonight, the People's Court is on the road. Remember, every Tuesday we have the People's Court. My name is George Maringa. Our sign language interpreter is Rhoda Nyamai. Now, the clouds are assembling. The weatherman has issued his warning and the rains will soon be upon us. Tonight, we analyze and discuss the preparedness of the country regarding the upcoming El Nino rains. The People's Court is on the road tonight, and we take you to county number 21. That is the county of Murang'a, where my colleagues Victor Moyakane and Linda Alela are already there. And as you can see, Victor is on standby to be able to bring us what they have there. Our team will be there to be giving us more details on that. We shall not only be bringing you the analysis and the discussions from there, we shall also be telling you how well prepared the county is. And I want to take you over to Victor Moyakane. Good evening, Victor. Good to see you. What do you have prepared for us from Murang'a County?
Right. Good evening, George. I wonder how it is for you in Nairobi. I am in Murang'a. I know they say Kigali in Rwanda is the city of 1,000 hills, but the people who said that did not come to Murang'a. We've experienced all the hills we've been able to see today, all in this wonderful county. I am here with two people to my immediate right. I have Stanley Kinyua, who's the Director of Meteorological Services in Murang'a. Karibu sana. And we also have a member of the County Assembly, Honorable Maurice Thuku from Kiru Ward. Am I saying it right? Thank you so much for joining us. And we're here to talk about preparedness, disaster preparedness. And this particular area is prone to a particular kind of disaster that we'll be talking about a little bit later on. But I'm not alone. I'm with the wonderful, the gifted Linda Alela on the other side. Hello, Linda.
Hi, and I know you ask George what it is like to be there alone. It must be very cold now that we're all here. And of course, brazing the cold of Murang'a, not as cold as we would have expected. We're right here to discuss disaster preparedness, but of importance now that there's that declaration that we should expect El Nino rains. Just how are the people of Murang'a prepared to deal with this? We'll certainly be getting to this very important conversation, but we do not leave the rest of the country. Of course, we'll be having our correspondents across the different parts to make sure that they also tell us what the people are doing and what the government is doing, and the various, county governments as well, to ensure that we are all set to deal with this and more in regards to disasters that will always strike when we perhaps are not ready. So we'll be getting into that conversation, and as you can evidently see, People's Court is about the people, and the people are here. And this very evening, the people of Murang'a will be talking to you. We'll be having this conversation just so we get into a space where we will work on great solutions to take care of ourselves. So I think it's important that at this very point, I throw it back to George Maringa, who is on standby in studio for the updates in regards to news, and then we'll be coming back.
Absolutely, indeed. Thank you so much, Victor and Linda. We shall be crossing over to Murang'a County as well as analyzing the situation in other parts of the country. Thank you so much, Linda and Victor. And of course, here in studio, as I promised you, a jam-packed bulletin we have for you. I will be joined by Peter Murgor, who is a disaster risk reduction manager at the Kenya Red Cross. Also in studio tonight is Simon Washeni, a water conservation expert. Gentlemen, good evening. We shall be coming to you. Welcome to our studios. It's great to have you. We shall be, of course, analyzing and getting to know how well Kenyans, can react and, of course, be able to respond when disaster strikes. And we shall also be getting to know what matters water and indeed all that we need to know regarding the flooding situation and what will happen in our homes, in our societies. We thank you for joining us tonight. My name is George Maringa. As told you, we shall be having this and much more coming your way. But first, our top stories that we have for you tonight. Tonight, a Kenya Air Force Huey military helicopter carrying multiple Kenya Defense Forces officers crashes within the volatile Boni Forest region, resulting in the loss of several lives. The Education Ministry is poised to overhaul the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education KCSE grading system with a greater emphasis on assessing students' aptitudes and interests. Principal Secretary for Basic Education, Belio Kipsang, states that the new grading system will consider the numeracy and literacy skills of students as key criteria.
Now, the other things now you look at, where are the best areas that the kid has acquired knowledge and competencies by picking on the best subjects and learning areas that they have scored well, so that you use that to grade them.
Plus, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua unintentionally acknowledges that Kenya lacks a comprehensive plan to address the challenges posed by El Nino.
Next week, I'll be convening the National Emergency Response Committee that I chair, with all government agencies, development partners, the Red Cross, international organizations, and all other stakeholders to discuss our preparedness.
As the weatherman warns of heavy rains. Tonight we ask you, are you satisfied with the disaster preparedness in the country? Engage us on our social media platforms at TV47 News, at George Maringa _, at Muyakane, at Linda _Alela. Use the hashtag Daily Report TV47. We are streaming live on YouTube as well as on terrestrial platforms. We thank you for joining us. We begin our broadcast tonight where several KDF soldiers and officials have lost their lives in a helicopter crash in Lamu County. Confirming the incident through an official statement, KDF says the crew on board the Air Force Huey helicopter were part of an air surveillance operation for the ongoing Operation Amani Boni. President William Ruto has sent condolences to the families of army forces who perished in the helicopter crash. Indeed, our condolences to the families of the bereaved. There is already a growing concern among farmers regarding the government's preparedness to handle potential disasters in the event of an El Nino, as reported in some regions of the country. This raises questions about the government's readiness. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua announced on Monday that he will convene the National Emergency Response Committee to discuss the country's readiness for the expected El Nino rains next week, even as certain parts of the country have already begun experiencing rainfall. Moiga William reports.
Predkera in Baringo County, farmers are already fully engaged in ensuring that their farm yields are well sun-dried for proper storage, but there is a fear crippling in them, with the rains already being recorded in some parts of Baringo South. The harvested maize not well dried and the rains are almost here, and there is a high chance that there is a risk of the harvest rotting.
Asa kwa kuanja mahali tunanikia mahindi, ikinyesha mahindi naloa maji.
Can you imagine katika this century, wakulima wanakausha kwa chini?
This prompts the tens of farmers gathered in this field to sun-dry their maize harvest, to call out both levels of government over the state of preparedness in managing any eventualities in case of any incidences, as the El Nino rains commence to pound hard in some parts of the country.
Kuna post-harvest losses mingi. Na unajua mkulima akishafika hapa astahili kupoteza.
Sasa ile mahindi imekauka, tungepata kashedi ile tunapepa tunatupanga hapo kitambo isheliwe, ingekuwa afadhali.
In response to the fervent concerns voiced by concerned citizens, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua declared on Monday his intention to convene a meeting next week. The purpose being to formulate comprehensive strategies aimed at alleviating potential damages that may result from the impending heavy rainfall season. The announcement coming weeks after the Meteorological Department's pronouncement regarding the anticipated El Nino rains.
Next week, I'll be convening the National Emergency Response Committee that I chair, with all government agencies, development partners, the Red Cross, international organizations, and all other stakeholders to discuss our preparedness for the expected El Nino rains.
For the better part of the month of September, a number of counties have been reported to commence laying out plans to mitigate possible effects of El Nino rains.
We invite you to work with us as we set up and implement measures to prevent possible tragedies.
Some of the regions expected to be significantly affected by El Nino rains include Siaya, Kisumu, Homa Bay, Migori, Kisii, Nyamira, Baringo, Uasin Gishu, West Pokot, Elgeyo Marakwet, Nandi, Kericho, Kakamega, Busia, Trans Nzoia, West Pokot, Vihiga, Laikipia West, Nakuru and Narok. Mwigi William, TV47.
Thank you, Mwige, for that. The Ministry of Education has announced it will review the grading system in order to enable more learners meet the cluster requirements for various courses they wish to pursue at both the university and college levels. These will see students graded based on mathematics, one language, and 5 best performed subjects. Sheila Chelangat reports.
A KCSE grading system might be getting a review if the cabinet approves of the proposals by the Ministry of Education. According to the new proposals, a student will be graded on numeracy and literacy skills, making mathematics and one language compulsory, which is either Kiswahili or English.
We want to say separate placement from grading so that across the world, you test a kid on 2 critical areas, on numeracy and literacy.
This move to focus on the skills and competencies acquired by students came after the Presidential Task Force on Education gave the proposal, noting that placement to universities must be separated from the testing.
Now, the other things now you look at, where are the best areas that the kid has acquired knowledge and competencies by picking on the best subjects and learning areas that they have scored well, so that you use that to grade them.
Currently, the grading system computes the candidate score, in which mathematics, English, Kiswahili, 2 sciences, 2 humanities and other technical subjects are compulsory.
That way, you will have given the right certificate to this kid. But now when it goes to placement, they will say you must have done 3 sciences to do medicine. This guy will be having his 3 sciences which have been graded. So we shall have totally separated certification from placement.
This new grading system will benefit at least 5 cohorts under the former 844 system of education. Sheila Chelangat for TV47 in Nairobi.
Now, we asked for the passports. You ask for the passports, they are printed, and if you do not pick them, you will face, or rather your passport will be destroyed. And here is why: because Kenyans whose passports are awaiting pickup at various locations around the nation have been given 30 days, I repeat, 30 days to pick them, or else the travel documents shall be destroyed in accordance with the Immigration Act. While launching the Rapid Results Initiative, RRI, on the delivery and collection of passports at Nyayo House in Nairobi, Interior and National Administration Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki said a total of 87,574 passports have already been printed and are available for pickup at the State Department for Immigration and Citizen Services. And as Mike Kagwango reports, the RRI launch is in pursuit of enhancing service delivery, where Immigration Department discovered a number of uncollected passports across the country.
A total of 87,574 passports have already been printed and are available for pickup at the State Department for Immigration and Citizen Services. Speaking at the launch of the Rapid Results Initiative on the delivery and collection of passports at Nyayo House here in Nairobi, Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki said the Immigration Department was creating more passports than they could provide, which presented a delivery difficulty.
We were producing passports, but the rate of releasing them was a bit slow, and that's why we are declaring a rapid results initiative, RRI, to ensure that we collect these passports.
According to Kindiki, the Immigration Department created more than 4,500 passports in 24-hour period throughout the day and night shifts. The Rapid Results Initiative will see 36,170 passports in Nairobi office, 10,409 passports in Embu, 9,938 passports in Eldoret, 9,515 passports in Kisumu, 8,023 passports in Nakuru, 7,971 passports in Kisii, and 5,424 passports in Mombasa distributed in a seamless procedure within 5 to 6 weeks.
Those passports must be collected within 30 days, commencing 25th September 2023. And this is how we're going to do it. Every week, we are going to publicize in the media, in our website, the ministry website, the portal, the State Department for Immigration website.
The CS underlining that all applicants whose passports shall not have been collected after the lapse of the notice shall face consequences during fresh application process. The government is expected to begin issuing passports as soon as possible after completion of Rapid Results Initiative, as well as purchasing new equipment.
And those who are holders of that passport will have to reapply again, and they will pay a penalty for causing us to spend money to print passports which they are not collecting.
The rented equipment will be kept at the government printer and run by state employees in order to ensure that the new arrangement will not jeopardize the security of the nation. Mike Kagwongo, TV47, Nairobi.
Be sure to pick your passport before it is destroyed after 30 days. A day after one journalist was left unconscious and two others nursing serious injuries after they were attacked while covering a police raid at a suspected Chang'aa den in Katine village in Machakos County, the Media Council of Kenya has condemned the attack, terming the incident as a violation of human rights and freedom of speech, and has called for the police to bring the perpetrators to book. The Media Council has called on everyone aggrieved by the media to avoid taking the law into their own hands. The council reiterated the critical role of journalists as the society's watchdog and appealed to the public to ensure the journalists are protected in their field of work. The Monday attack, according to the Makueni Union of Journalists, that is Mujo, saw three journalists, namely Boniface Mutisia of Mutongoi TV, Mike Ndunda of Kamba TV and Richard Munyao of Athiani FM, roughed up by the Chang'aa brewers and their sympathizers. The three journalists are currently undergoing treatment at the Ruai Hospital in Tala. Now, residents of Shanzu in Mombasa County were left in disbelief on Tuesday after finding a beheaded body of a young woman dumped into a thicket. Elsewhere, police officers in Githunguri, Kiambu County are investigating a case of the deaths of a mother and her child whose bodies were found inside a well on Tuesday morning. Chichi Josephine tells us more.
A low-spirited mood engulfed this village in Kiambu County, where two bodies were found in a well. It is suspected that Simon Kimani, aged 45, had a quarrel with his mother, Masi Maingi, aged 75, before their bodies were discovered inside the well.
Leo kumekuwa na kisaga ya mama kurushwa shimo la maji na kijana wake ambayo walikuwa na furugu juu ya aliingia katika dini ambao ilikuwa ni kama ni potofu na walikuwa na shida na yeye.
Police officers are probing the incident to determine whether Simon Kimani killed his parent and disposed her body before taking his own life by jumping into the same well.
Hata ieleweki vizuri ni nini ifanya wote wawili wae pamoja na wae kwa shimo.
Neighbors who have been witnessing ongoing disputes between the son and the mother expressed shock at the tragic turn of events, as they did not anticipate it would escalate to such a distressing level.
alikuja kwangu na akanielezea ile mambo ambayo anapitia kwa sababu ya ile mambo kijana wake ashaingia amejihuzu nayo. Kwa hivyo imekuwa ni jambo sio nzuri.
Elsewhere, residents of Shanzu, Mombasa County were left in disbelief on Tuesday after finding a beheaded body of a young woman dumped into a thicket, a body that was discovered by herders nearby before they called the authorities.
Kwa hivyo walivyotufahamisha, tukaja tukashuhudia mwili hauna kichwa, uko tuputupu na umefanywa hali ambayo si ya kawaida. Na huu msitu umehatarisha, umemaliza maisha ya watu.
Ni kitendo ambacho kimetusikitisha sana. Na nikionekana ni msichana mdogo amefanywa kitendo cha unyama, na bora hata wangemuoa kamwacha hata kichwa chake, lakini mpaka kichwa amekitoa. Ni kitendo cha kusikitisha sana.
However, the body is yet to be positively identified as the police are carrying on their investigations to identify the body and unearth the culprit behind the incident. Chichi Josephine, TV47.
Now, a family in Kanduyi constituency, Bungoma County, is appealing for assistance from the government to assist them bring back their family member who is stranded in Malaysia. According to the family, the 35-year-old Sospita Ngahu, in the company of 4 others, left the country on the 18th of April this year after being duped for a job opportunity in the country. They claim that after reaching Malaysia, they were sold to an unknown agent who in return sold them as slaves in a certain company.
Seeing their child excel in education and secure employment brings immense joy to any parent. However, this heartwarming experience remains elusive for Mama Florence Ngahu's family in Kanduyi constituency, Bungoma County. Tragically, her 35-year-old son, along with the 4 others, finds himself trapped in Malaysia after falling a victim to false promises of job opportunities.
Mimi nilikuwa nafanya biashara, tukakusanya kila mtu kitu kadogo kenye ako nayo, ili kijana alikuwa amesikia naenda kupata kazi mzuri, ili akienda atanisaidia hata mimi nirudi kazi. Sasa mimi hata kazi siendangi, nakaanga tu hapa hivi. Kazi ni kuhuzunika tu, mtoto akikwambia yale mambo anapitia. Anakuambia mimi napitia mateso, mama gari mpenye na dada.
Sasa vile mimi nilirudi kusikia vile maneno ya mtoto iko haki. Ndio nikasikia uchuni.
Sospita Ngahu and his 4 companions departed for Malaysia on April 18 of this year with the hopes of a better future. However, they were tragically deceived and forced into a life of slavery.
I work for this company. I will be sleeping there. Where will I go? Where is the money to pay for the hostel?
Currently, they endure unimaginable hardships with no compensation, inadequate nourishment, and no access to medical care. In this dire situation, the deplorable surroundings have become their only shelter.
Tulileta huku na ma-agent, wali promise kuna kazi huku. And then after kufika huku vitu zilichange, si vile tulikuwa tuna-expect.
Huyo wa mwisho ndio huyu hapa, na amekuwa pia akicomplain akisema ni msik. Hii ndio place yeye pia yeye mwenyewe anakaa.
This has prompted political leaders to raise eyebrows over the manner in which the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is coordinating affairs of Kenyans in the diaspora. Led by Bungoma Senator Wafula Wakoli and Kabuchai MP Majimbo Kalasinga, they have demanded Foreign Affairs CS Alfred Mutua, together with the security agencies, to probe recruitment companies which are luring young Kenyans for jobs abroad and leaving them to carry their own burden when things go in an unexpected direction.
Hao wako Malaysia, wanaishi kama wanyama wa porini. Wanaishi katika mahandaki ya mizigo kule Malaysia. Wameambia balozi tuko na shida. Balozi hajasikia chochote. Wametuma barua pepe. Serikali inalala usingizi waponi.
The moment wanaingia airport wako na passport ya Kenya. Wakifika ngambo hivi wananyang'anywa hizo passports.
The leaders have condemned the manner in which the government has continued to turn a deaf ear to suffering Kenyans abroad.
Na wewe Mutua waziri, kazi yako nataka tuangalie kila mtoto mwenye atoka Kenya kwenda nje asachiliwe tumjue.
Mimi nataka kuambia serikali ya Kenya kwanza na Mheshimiwa Alfred Mutua na waziri wa Leba kwamba tumepasua mbarika Na mimi mtu wangu wa Bungoma kama ako kwa orodha ya hao watu, I will come for you, Mheshimiwa Alfred Mutua.
So Peter's family is now appealing to the Minister of Labour to join hands with the Foreign Affairs and rescue their son together with his colleagues who are undergoing a lot of agony at the moment. Wanji Sostin, TV47, Bungoma.
Nilikuwa naomba tu kusaidika. Mtoto arudi tu.
Sad story right there. Now 566,000 stillbirths and 5.2 million preterm or underweight births could be prevented each year if the needed $1.1 billion will be made available to low and middle income countries by 2033. And as Elizabeth Otieno now reports, by 2023. And as Elizabeth Otieno now reports, a section of medics now say that family planning is crucial in curbing cases of small vulnerable newborns.
Did you know that American music legend Stevie Wonder, physicist Albert Einstein, and former UK Prime Minister Sir Winston Churchill have one thing in common? They were all born as preterm babies. Over 15 million mothers every year give birth before the completion of 37 weeks of pregnancy. This might be caused by spontaneous preterm labor or early cesarean section as suggested by a doctor. Nancy Macau would otherwise be a mother of 3, but is now a mother of 1. She lost 2 of her babies in a miscarriage. Her third born, now 11 months old, was born as a preterm baby.
Akaa kwa incubator wiki 3 na haikuwa rahisi kwa incubator. Kwanza nilikuwa nimezaa kupitia CS. Nilibidi ninunue maziwa na sina maziwa ya watoto wenye hawajafikisha siku ambayo inaitwa Cow and Gate, na iko inapatikana mahali ninakaa. Ilikuwa inapatikana Mombasa na mimi nilikuwa nakaa Mariakani. Mtoto hakuwa anaoshwa, kalikuwa kadogo hivi 1.7. Hata mimi mwenyewe nilikuwa namuogopa. Alikuwa mdogo sana. Mtu akikuja akiniona ananiona mimi, lakini mtoto hamuoni. So watu walikuwa huyu ana maringo, hataki mtoto wake, kwani yeye ndiye ameanza kuzaa. Sasa wewe ukisikia hivyo unasikia vibaya kwa sababu si wewe umetaka.
Dr. Ann Kihara, the president-elect for the Federation of Gynecology and Obstetrics, says family planning is a silver bullet in combating cases of maternal health-related complications and child mortalities.
I need to get the babies I can nurture, plan for them, separate or space them appropriately, and even decide how many in total will I end up with. So you're making reproductive decisions.
Every pregnant woman should have an ultrasound done by the 24th week. But is it what is happening? Not.
According to the World Health Organization, in 2020 alone, 13.4 million children were born as preterm. Of this, 1 million lives were lost due to the same.
Globally, 1 in every 4 babies is either born too small or born too soon, accounting for 1.9 million stillbirths and 1.4 million newborn deaths annually.
A lot of my patients have cerebral palsy, who've been ex-SVNs. They have autism spectrum disorder, they have ADHD, cognitive impairments that really they struggle with their academic achievements.
Kangaroo mother care, breastfeeding, counseling on healthy diet, and optimal nutrition on expectant mothers are said to help mothers boost their infants' health and immunity. Elizabeth Otieno, TV47.
Thank you, Elizabeth, for that. Now, Kiambu County Deputy Governor Rosemary Kirika has launched Plug Mtani, Vijana to Invest initiative that aims at promoting the youth through innovative programs. Ngugi has urged youth to take part in creating job opportunities and contribute in bringing down the cost of products in Kenya. The move comes as President William Ruto's government is looking forward towards enforcing a Buy Kenya, Sell Kenya agenda that aims at increasing investment in the country. The County Executive Committee members Nancy Geshongwa for Trade and Osman Korar, the CEC for Sports, attended the event.
The greatest time to be innovative is when things seem not to work as expected. We should therefore take this as an opportunity for innovation because we need to look for solutions. Let this be a catalyst for creative thinking to find new ways to overcome our problems. Let our necessity to create more jobs, our need to produce more food, and our need to bring down the cost of our products serve to motivate us to brainstorm, experiment, and innovate. We need to think outside the box and come up with new solutions for our issues. And let us approach our issues with a sense of urgency. I challenge our youths today. We have youth representatives. Youths are up to 35 years. Who are the youths? So that I'm sure I'm talking to the right people. I want to challenge you who has lifted up your hand. I want to challenge you to scrutinize the products that we have in our markets today. And you decide how we can improve their performance.
Indeed, time now to get sporty, and the Kasarani, Nyayo and Kipkeino Stadia have been closed indefinitely by the Ministry of Sports to pave way for their renovations ahead of the Confederation of African Football (CAF) deadline for nations bidding to host the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations AFCON to have their stadia attaining international standards. CAF is expected to announce the nation that will be given the hosting rights to the continental showpiece on 27th of this month, as Kenya partnered with Uganda and Tanzania to cast their bid for hosting the tournament. Sports Cabinet Secretary Ababu Namwamba on Tuesday morning handed over mandate of the reconstruction of the stadia to the Ministry of Defense, saying the ministry has unwavering discipline to deliver the project under a short period of time. Among other nations in Africa that have bid to host AFCON in 2027 include Algeria, Egypt, and Botswana.
Constructing these 4 projects using FIFA 2022 standards. FIFA revises standards periodically, and they last revised standards for stadia in 2022. We are applying the latest FIFA CAF standards. And so, mambo matatu: efficiency and cost effectiveness, timeliness, and standards. We believe that the Minister of Defense should be able to deliver that. Immediately, KDF are ready to take possession of these facilities, and we are giving them to them from today. Funguo tunawapatia. We will be officially closing all the facilities. We will close Nyayo, we will close Kasarani. We are making arrangements with KDF for the use of Ulinzi and other facilities which will make available. But the moment works start here, and we expect works to start pretty much immediately, we will then cordon off the facilities undergoing renovation.
Now, the National Olympics Committee of Kenya, NOC, in collaboration with the Ministry of Sports, have concluded a 2-day sports administrators course in Mwote, Makueni County. The course, which is a first of its kind for the sports administrators in the country, is expected to enhance the management and administration of skills of sports officials in Kenya. The administrators course in Makueni attracted over 100 participants, including chief officers, county assembly staff, county officials of national federations, sports councils, officers of the wards, and youth development officers. The opening ceremony of the course was presided over by NOC Treasurer Anthony Kariuki, who emphasized on the importance of improving sports management from the grassroots level.
Our people to come and get trained on sports administration and management. This management at the wards and sub-wards has been existent for the last 7 years. And so these people have now gained enough experience practically, and therefore they are now ready for professional organization of how to administer and manage sports. And therefore we took a request to National Olympic Committee of Kenya because they offer this course, and therefore we are excited that it is the first course for a county government or in a county setup that has taken place.
We've been trained on how to manage our teams, how we can organize events, and that was very helpful. In the past, we've been calling events, and probably people go out there very unsatisfied with what we have organized, but at least we've learned how to organize such events. We've organized how to involve other stakeholders.